Hey everyone, and welcome. So let's talk about something I know a lot of you are struggling with. You're working your tail off on your IELTS writing, right? But you've hit a wall. You just can't seem to get past that score. Well, if that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to ditch the basics and talk about essay structures that will actually, impress the examiners.
Let me just kick things off with a question. You know those essay templates you've spent hours memorizing? Do you ever get that nagging feeling that they're actually holding you back? If you do, you're not alone. It's a super common feeling, and honestly, there's a really good reason for it.
Yeah, we call this the template trap. And it's this incredibly frustrating spot to be in, right? It's where really smart students just like you, get completely stuck. Their scores just flatline. And the worst part? It's not because your English is bad. It's because the very structure you're relying on is capping your potential.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's really break down why this trap is so darn effective at keeping your scores down. And to do that, we have to put ourselves in the shoes of the person grading your paper, the examiner.
So, here's the deal with these generic templates. The number one problem is they lead to generic essays. Shocker, right? But think about what that means. Your arguments? Totally predictable. Your vocabulary? You're basically stuck using the same words as 1,000 other students. And the flow between your ideas feels clunky, not natural. What you're left with is an essay that has zero depth, and, let's be real here, it's just plain boring for an examiner to read. I mean, seriously, try to imagine it from their side. They're sitting there reading hundreds and hundreds of essays, and so many of them sound exactly the same. Using a template doesn't make your essay safe, it makes it invisible. And that's the last thing you want. Your goal here isn't to blend in, it's to stand out. Okay, look at this. This comparison really nails it. The template sentence on the left, it's not wrong, but it's just so meh. It's generic. But then you look at the high-scoring alternative. Wow, it's specific, it's nuanced, it uses powerful words like proliferation and unprecedented. It just screams a deeper level of thought. This, right here, this is where you win those top band scores.
So the big question is, how do we fix this? How do we break out of the trap? Well, let's move on, because we're going to learn how to build something way, way stronger. It's all about thinking like an architect, someone who designs the whole thing, not just a builder who follows a cookie-cutter plan. We're talking about dynamic structures.
First up, we've got the problem-solution structure. This one is your best friend when you see a prompt about a tricky issue, things like urban congestion or environmental pollution. Instead of just making a boring list of pros and cons, you get to be a consultant. You dig in, identify the real problem, figure out its causes, and then you propose some smart, nuanced solutions. This immediately tells the examiner, hey, this person can think critically and systematically.
Okay, next up is the compare-contrast structure. Now, don't just think of this as a simple good versus bad list. No, this is way more sophisticated. It's for when you have to look at something from multiple angles, like say comparing traditional classroom learning to online education. Your job is to highlight all the subtle differences, the interesting similarities. You're showing the examiner that you're not afraid of complex, multifaceted topics. And number 3, my personal favorite, and maybe the most impressive of all, the argument-counterargument structure. With this one, you're not just giving your opinion. You're building an ironclad case for it. And then, and this is the absolute key, you anticipate what someone arguing against you would say. You show the examiner you've actually considered the other side, and you tackle their points head on. This makes your own argument so much more powerful and shows a seriously high level of thinking. So, look, here's what this all boils down to. You need to think of these structures as flexible blueprints, not as rigid fill-in-the-blank templates. The real magic, the real skill, isn't just picking the right one. It's about how you build a smooth, logical, seamless flow inside of it. And where does that seamless flow come from? It happens right here, at the paragraph level. It's a simple 4-step process. Step 1, start with a super clear topic sentence. The reader needs to know what's coming. Step 2, build on that with your explanation. Step 3, back it up. Use a specific example or some evidence to make your point solid. And finally, step 4, wrap it all up with a concluding thought that connects right back to your main point. Follow that logic and you'll be writing powerful, cohesive paragraphs every single time.
All right. We've talked about why templates fail you and what to use instead. Now for the most important part of all, how you can actually take all this theory and put it into practice, like right now.
And trust me, it all begins right here. Before you even think about writing your first sentence, you have to get really good at breaking down the prompt. Read it, and then ask yourself, what is this question actually asking me to do? Is it a problem that needs a solution? Is it two things that need comparing? Is it asking for a strong opinion? Because your answer to that question will tell you exactly which dynamic structure is the perfect tool for the job.
So here is your action plan, your 4-step game plan. Step 1, grab a prompt and deconstruct it. Really understand its core demands. Step 2, pick the best dynamic structure for that specific task. Step 3, plan. Before you write a single paragraph, just quickly map out your main ideas and arguments. And step 4, as you're writing, really focus on using those advanced, sophisticated transitional phrases to make sure everything flows together beautifully. You practice this process over and over, and I promise it'll become second nature.
Look, when you ditch those rigid templates and start using these flexible, dynamic structures, you're doing something more than just writing an essay. You're building a powerful, compelling argument. You are taking back control. So my question to you is, are you ready to stop just following someone else's plan and finally become the architect of your own score?